So you guys, first of all, welcome. I know I'm extremely late, y'all, but honey, I had to go do something that I actually should be a damn shame of myself. I was supposed to go get my nails done like a week ago, and I didn't. And I was just playing around, playing around, playing around, playing around, playing around, playing around, and didn't go get my nails done. And baby, child, I woke up today. I wasn't even feeling good. But I said, if I don't take my raggedy ass up out this house and go get these nails and toes done, honey, I said, I know something. So I had to go and get a little rubbed on a little bit, okay? So now my nails look a whole lot better, Lord Jesus. Ooh, thank you, Father. Thank you in the name of Jesus, honey. Thank you. But anyway, shout out to all my members that lit up in green. I know a lot of people probably sleep. That's why we only got 88 people in here because it's 9:27 over here. I know it's probably 10:27 on the East Coast. So y'all probably didn't think I was going live and y'all went to sleep. I'm just going to assume that's what's going on. But let me share this live right quick to my Facebook just in case people did not receive the notifications because y'all know how it is. Y'all know how sometimes the notifications don't get sent out to everybody. So let me just share this live right quick, and then we're going to get into it. This will be a 2-part live stream. I'm going to do about 2 hours tonight, and then I'm going to finish up tomorrow because it's a little lengthy, okay? A little lengthy. So hold on. Let me share this right quick. Because it's a little lengthy. And hit that thumbs up. I see 60 people thumbs up the video. If you guys don't mind. All right, let me share it to my Facebook. Let people know that's still up. They can come check me out. I'm going to say live now on Facebook. I mean, live now on YouTube. Live now on YouTube. I'll fix that title later. Y'all, we got to talk about this because, baby, honey, when I heard about it, I was just shaking, honey. Shaken, not stirred. I was shaken, not stirred. Okay. Y'all, like I said, this is going to be 2 parts because, honey, I was today year old. Hey, everybody. Hey, Rachel, beautiful. I was today years old when I found out that not only was there a criminal case done. Well, first of all, let me tell y'all what's going on. Well, let me tell you this first. Not only did I find out that it was a criminal case done, but this chick, Amanda, went and filed she filed a civil lawsuit as well. So we're going to go over the criminal case tonight, and we're going to go over the civil lawsuit. I got the digits and everything, baby. Your girl done broke down and purchased the digits. Okay, so I got it all. But we're going to do the criminal tonight. We're going to talk about the criminal case tonight. And then tomorrow, we will talk about the civil lawsuit. Because not only did she want these men to go to jail, she also wanted to get money out of this deal. Let me tell y'all what's going on so y'all would know what is going on. Okay, hold on one second. Let me just put my coffee link up. If you guys want to tip me for this great commentary that I'm about to break down, that's going to blow your minds. Okay, I guarantee you, you're going to like tonight's live stream. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to take you away. You're going to think you back in the 1930s or some shit. Okay, but no, we are in 2026. Where white women are still accusing black men of taking their poo nanny as if their poo nanny is the only poo nanny out here, okay? As much people giving out poo nanny, okay? Inviting men to come live with them and their kids in other states and shit. White poo nanny is not all that men want, okay? There's a lot of free poo nanny going on out here. Hold on one second. Let me pin this coffee link. If you're going to give me a coffee, I like grande. Okay, grande. All right. Thank you for 15 months. Perfectly imperfect. Appreciate you. Okay. So I just pinned my coffee link above. If you guys want to tip me for this great commentary, and I'm going to set a goal simply because I know y'all love the Gold Met song, and so do I. So do I. I'm going to set a goal. When I come on with good commentary, I'm going to set a goal each time. I want y'all to know that. When I'm just bullshitting around, just chit-chatting, then I may not set a goal. But I'm definitely going to set a goal when I'm bringing some good commentary that I had to go and do some research and, things of that nature. I am going to set a goal. I am setting a goal of 15 super chats, $10 super chats. If you can give. If you can't, don't worry about it. But listen, I think you guys are going to very much enjoy this story because it is wild. It's wild. I mean, it made the hairs on my back stand up. And I was like, what the fuck? Not in 2026. So y'all, I need y'all to go grab y'all something to eat right quick or snack or something. Y'all need to run on back here because, baby, we about to talk about what is going on. All right. So the picture that y'all see right here, this is Amanda. And child, I can't even pronounce Amanda's last name. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Amanda's name as a banner, okay? I'm going to put it as a banner right now. So and then I'm just going to refer to her as Amanda throughout the rest of this live stream. But baby, her name is every letter of the damn alphabet, okay? Her last name is every letter of the damn alphabet. That is her name right there. Y'all see that? I can't even begin to pronounce it. Zawieruszynski. Zawieruszynski. Okay, I don't know if that's how you say it or not, but Zawieruszynski. Okay. Thank you so much for that coffee. I appreciate you so very much. Rachel, she said, stop playing with our girl. Okay, that part. Thank you for filling me up with some coffee, honey. I need it too. I really do. I need it. So she said, just say Z. I'm just going to say Z. But y'all see her name, right? You see this young lady's name, Amanda Z. Amanda Z. She is out of Marville, Texas, right out here where I'm at. I'm not in Marville, but y'all know I am in the great state of Texas, okay? She became widely known after filing a criminal complaint against these two gentlemen, okay? Yep, you see it right. One of them was a police officer, a detective, okay? Nevertheless, she accused these two black men of sexually assaulting her and holding her hostage as a kidnapper. They kidnapped her, held her hostage, and sexually assaulted her. Following a social gathering in November of 2023, okay? Allegations that later fell under scrutiny. We're going to talk about that. What type of scrutiny did it fall up under? Well, let me tell you what happened, y'all. She was neighbors, okay? And in November of 2023, Amanda Z reported to the Manville Police Department that she had been held against her will and raped by her neighbors, John Marks and his friend Freddie Douglas. Now, John Marks is the guy in the white shirt with a little smile on his face. His friend Freddie Douglas is the guy in the police officer's outfit, okay? He used to be a police officer until he lost his job because of her ass. Yeah, he lost his job because of her. But nevertheless, let's continue on. She said she was held against her will and raped by her neighbor, John Marks, and his friend, Freddie Douglas Jr. during a house party at Mark's house. Based on her complaint, both men were arrested and charged with aggravated sexual assault and kidnapping in December of 2023. Yeah, y'all heard me right. Y'all heard me right. December of 2023. The cops didn't ask no questions from the gentleman. They just got a warrant for their arrest. No interview, no investigation, no interrogation. They went and got a warrant for their arrest, arrested them, and charged them with aggravated sexual assault and kidnapping. Honey, their life was about to be over. They was arrested, thrown into jail. No interview, no interrogation, no questions whatsoever. Because had they asked them, at least, at the very minimum, is it true? Did you really do this? They would have been able to provide all the evidence that was needed to clear their names. But they didn't do that. Not at all. They took it before a grand jury. But let me slow my roll so I can slow walk this one, okay? After the arrest, home surveillance video from Mark's property. Thank God Mark has cameras around his home. Thank God he has a Ring doorbell. Thank God he has a camera on the back porch and the side of his home. I'm big on that. I don't care if you're renting or not. You need cameras. You need to know who's coming in, who's leaving at all times. And like my husband, Jay, thank God for him because he put cameras in the back and the side of our homes, okay? So after the arrest, home surveillance video from Mark's property became central to this story. Why is that? Well, because the video and audio showed that Amanda Z arrived voluntarily, moved freely around the house, and engaged, you heard me, engaged in consensual and intimate activities with both men, not one. She fucked both of these guys, okay? The same day, willingly. Can we say hashtag consensual down in the comments? Consensual. Baby, she was caught on camera making advances to them, okay? Which these video and audio, it contradict her claim that she been held against her will. Because of the evidence, the grand jury in Brazoria County declined to indict these two Black men in March of 2024, which means the case did not move forward legally. But before the grand jury freed them by declining to indict them, they lost their jobs, they lost money, their reputation was ruined, they were known as rapists and kidnappers. Before they were cleared, you got to understand this, the incident happened in November. She accused them in December. So January, February, and March, for 3 whole months, their life was turned upside down. Their entire life. Now, I want to play this video. It's kind of lengthy. It's about 17 minutes. I'm going to need you to hold on to yourselves because once I play you this video, I'm sure we are familiar with the activist. I can't think of his name right off, but I'm sure he's going to let us know who he is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it up. But baby, y'all hold on to y'all wigs because y'all wait till y'all hear what's going on. Y'all hit them thumbs up button for me, please. Thank you so much for the coffees. Thank y'all. Keep filling me up throughout this live stream. Thank you, Lisa. She said, I'm here for the love of your commentary. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Y'all, we have to continue to hear these type of stories. Ain't nobody got time for no drama. It's real shit going on out here in this world. Real shit. These two men literally could have lost their whole entire, everything that they worked for. And they're successful men. Successful men. All because she wanted to have sex with 2 Black men. And come to find out, y'all, oh my God, when I tell you this reminds me of, have y'all seen that that show Rosewood, the Massacre of Rosewood? I think that's what it's called, the Massacre of Rosewood. Have y'all seen that? Jay just had me watching that again the other night. We watched it, the Massacre of Rosewood. I want to say it was Rosewood, Florida, but I can't remember where. But it was Rosewood. You remember that white lady accused a Black man of raping her and beating her? And she was married to a white man, another white man, and she was embarrassed to tell her white man that she had cheated with another white man. So she accused a Black man. Well, this lady is married too. This lady is married too, right? So she accused these 2 Black men of raping her because, I don't know, maybe she felt embarrassed after having sex with not 1, but 2 of them. Hold on, let me close my door right quick because sometimes I be talking loud and they be keeping Jay up. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So y'all turn your volumes up, baby, because I need y'all to hear what I heard. I've listened to this whole 17-minute clip. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I'm just floored. So it says, activist speaks out on no bill in rape allegation. All right. These activists stood on business. They actually kind of, it kind of made me want to, become an activist or something. Cause baby, and not just on cases like this, but on different things. You know what I'm saying? Cause I do feel like I have a voice. But y'all listen up. This is an activist. These are the two brothers that's standing behind him. Those are the ones that was accused of raping this woman, which is a neighbor. Honey, they standing on business. All right, y'all listen up.
One God to whom praise is due forever. We have come here collectively today to condemn the Manville Police Department. The Manville Police Department, in my opinion, is one of the most racist, corrupt departments in the state of Texas. What they did to these two respectable young Black men is a disgrace to all of us as Black people. These two brothers are the same type of brothers that we fight in our community to produce. These young brothers, they're not that young, but young enough. These are the kind of young men we inspire to produce from our community. And when they do everything right, when they follow the line, when they follow the law, they don't commit unlawful acts. When they're not criminals, all it takes is one white woman to say out of her mouth, I was raped by two Black men at this police department, and then these cops never even questioned these two gentlemen. They never even interviewed these two gentlemen. I'm going to say it again.
Manville. I think that's how you say it. Manville is Manville, V-E-L, M-A-N-V-E-L, Manville, Texas. Okay, Manville, Texas.
She came and called them and told them she was raped. And they went and got arrest warrants for both men. These brothers never been in trouble, no criminal history. One, a police detective. You mean to tell me she come and say this about a police detective, and yet you don't even interview the man? You get a warrant for his arrest on the spot? Surely I don't believe had a Black woman come up here and told them the two white men raped me, and one is a police detective and neither have a criminal history of violence or anything, that they would go and process arrest warrants for him without ever interviewing both men. This police department and the chief should resign. He should never be allowed to be a chief in this city again. They conducted a bona fide investigation only after they had arrested both men. But what they did not know was that this white woman had been having sex with one of the brothers for a long time.
For 4 months. The guy in the white shirt right here have been tapping that ass for 4 months, okay? And just so happened, he said, hey, my friend is coming over. And she said, okay, he says, my friend is coming over. You want to, have some fun or whatever? She said, yeah, I'll do him. What's his name? Send me a picture of him or whatever. So he gave him his name or whatever. And she agreed. Now, I ain't know shit like that happened because I ain't never been involved in no stuff like that before. I don't know. Y'all tell me, right? So if you're having sex with a guy and he said, hey, I got a friend coming over. You want to have some fun? Right? And you agree, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll handle him too. I don't know where they do that at, okay? It ain't like they sharing ice cream. They sharing slobs and secretions and stuff, I didn't know they were still doing things like that, right? So she agreed to have sex with his friend as well as him on the same day, okay? So for 4 months, he had already been having sex with this guy. She said, this shit happened every day or more. Well, I don't know. You're a police officer, Glenn, so you know about this type of stuff. In the woods that I hang out at, I've never in my life ever even been approached by a man that said, do you want to have sex with me and my friend too? Never in my 53 years of living have a man ever asked me that, ever. I mean, ever. No man has ever said, do you want to have sex with my friend too? She said, I live in Manville area, Amora. Check your coffees. I sent you some. Oh, you did? Okay, thank you, baby. Wait a minute. So this is in Houston? Manville is in Houston? You mean I live in a racist city where a police department will take the crying tears of a white woman without even interviewing? Please tell me this is not where I live. Are you serious right now? Let's continue to listen.
But they did not know on the day that his friend was there, the police detective, she called. We got the text messages. She asked, what's his name? And she went to the store and got some cupcakes with his name on it. Now, you mean to tell me a grown woman ain't never met a man, and she's going to visit this man, and she gets some cupcakes with his name on it?
How you know the name? How she know the name?
Come on now.
How she know that?
This is foolishness to even call this proper police work. What they did not know, well, there was videos of the entire encounter. Not only videos, audios too. And on the audio and the video, you can see this wasn't no damn rape. On the audio and the video, you will see she was the one that started sexually engaging them first.
Speak on it.
Neither one of them brothers went to her first. She got ass naked.
Now, y'all listen to what she did. She undressed, fully undressed, y'all. Fully took her clothes off willingly. And what she don't know is, I don't know if you guys have a pool in your backyard, but we have a pool, and we got cameras that show everything that's happening in our pool. So if you ever come to my house, don't call yourself skinny dipping, because you will be on camera, baby. The whole thing was caught on camera.
Speak clear. She gets ass naked and jumps in the pool. He's already in the pool. And she went up to him. He didn't go to her. And she put on a performance.
She put on a performance. So do you know what that means? She was bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving and ducking and bobbing and weaving. She put on a performance, and the performance was caught on camera. She got ass, butt, booty naked, goes up to the police officer while he was already in the pool, and she put on a performance, baby.
And then we got videos. Well, she been having an intimate relationship with this brother for a long extended period of time. Spending the night while her son and while children at home. She's spending the night over.
So she didn't went and crept up over her neighbor's house, left her children at the house by themselves, right? Left her children at the house, went and spent the night with the neighbor, and get topped off for months, like 4 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Over again.
Black for mama too, huh?
But yet you mean to tell me that you all wouldn't even question these two brothers? All they had to do, this pathetic, racist, no good damn police department, was interview these brothers. They would have happily gave them all the videos. They would have happily gave them the audios.
Right.
They would have happily gave them the text messages. This is a disgrace. The chief should resign, and those detectives should never call themselves detectives again. And so we are planning a lawsuit to take this even further. And her name will be...
As they should. They are going to sue the dog shit out of the city police department, and they coming after her ass too, honey. Her ass too. And now I think her ass should go to jail, if you ask me. But let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
Included.
That's right.
This is a damn shame what happened to these brothers, Dr. Matthews.
Dr. Matthews, so this is a clear-cut case as to these brothers' skin is their sin, pretty much. This is a clear-cut case that this white woman complexion was her protection.
Speak,
So when
sis.
things don't go your way and you go and cry wolf, then you turn around and you get these brothers locked up over something they.
She said her complexion is her protection. Y'all heard that? Her complexion is her protection.
You engage, that you wanted to be a freak league. That is unacceptable. And I'm gonna tell you something. This doggone police department here has a history of this mess. This is a police department that don't give a damn about black people. They don't give a damn about none of this. If anything that somebody white said, it is gold, and they gonna roll with it. They didn't even want to acknowledge the George Floyd policing bill here when we were working on that bill back 2 years ago. Okay, this is the same chief over here running his mouth talking about, no, we don't want the George Floyd bill here because we want to choke out Eugene Howard. Yeah, you said it. We know who you are. And we meant when we said you coming up out that seat, sir. Because again, that was a botched investigation. That investigation was non-invalid. You cannot conduct or even arrest these gentlemen without having an investigation with them first. And that ain't what you did. We got it all on audio. We know what you did. The jig is up and you gonna catch it. That's simple.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is Bishop Bay, Brazoria County, NAACP.
So you just heard the doctor speak, right? She was a doctor that just spoke. Now, I don't know if she was an MD doctor or a PhD doctor, but nevertheless, she's a doctor. Now here comes the bishop, okay? They got everybody on their team.
President. We know why we're here. We already know that there are 65 to 70 sexual assaults that occur in the United States of America every minute of the United States of America. And so from 2024 back to the days of Emmett Till, 1955, Black men are still having to defend their lives versus white tears. And the good thing about it is that I want to commend this young man or this young man, whoever had the audio or video, who had the presence of mind to have your home protected, because that audio and video saved your life.
Yes.
Because without it, let me tell you, Brazoria County would have nailed your ass to the cross.
Ooh, baby. She is speaking. She is speaking 100% truth. Listen, without that audio and video footage, these two brothers would be in prison. In prison, because that's just how detailed her accusations were. Okay, we're gonna get there.
You would have been crucified and they would have threw away the damn key, and they would have had Thanksgiving dinner and Easter like you never existed.
Yes.
So thank God for audio and video, and thank God that we understand now that white tears mean more than black life, that white lives hold more value to white people than black life. Why in 2024 we are still fighting against white fragility? We don't care anymore. You don't care about us. We do not care. We are standing here with these brothers. We are going to stand with them until they get justice. This white woman, just like the woman who had Emmett Till killed, she went home every year with her family. And nothing happened to her.
Rosewood.
And so now you're saying that this is going to happen.
The Dr. Matthews said Rosewood too. Okay, that's the one I was telling you about. She said Rosewood and Emmett Till. Let's not forget.
To this white woman, no, sir, no, ma'am. And we want to commend the grand jury for finally doing your damn job. Thank you for doing your job. I want to call the DA out. Because once you knew that this woman lied, charges should have automatically went to that woman.
I agree.
Because you don't have a problem ruining their lives to protect her over a lie.
Absolutely, I agree. Let me know down in the chat if you agree. Should Amanda be charged with this big fat ass lie trying to ruin these black men whole lives? Should she be charged? Should she be criminally charged and held liable for the big fat lie that she voluntarily told, trying to end their damn lives?
White lies don't have more value than black life.
Amen. Amen.
Great afternoon, people. Unfortunately, we are standing and I'm going to stand 10 toes down, as we say in our culture, in front of this racist ass police department. As Dr. Matthews has spoken earlier, we work tirelessly on the George Floyd Restorative Criminal Justice Plan, and every agency in this region accepted it except for Manville PD. And Chief Trailer, out of your mouth, sir, we know you said you want your officers to choke me out,
You said
to take my life, so you won't agree to the deal. So now, Mayor Dan Davis, this is a new administration. You said we're a city on the rise. We can't be a city on the rise in a sundown town.
Sundown town.
We can't be a city on the rise in a sundown town. So I'm imploring you, sir, your goodwill. I'm imploring those other council members who look like us to implore your goodwill to do what is right and get rid of this bigoted, racist police chief. And I don't care what threats you make to me, Eugene Howard is going nowhere, Chief Trailer. We're going to continue to fight for justice no matter what you say. Thank you.
We'll take questions at this time. I hope the chief don't threaten me.
you don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke because we want all.
It's obviously he has a history of threatening black activists. Well,
Tell
you
them we
know,
want all the smoke. All of it.
we'll take your question.
Dr. Matthews said she wants all the smoke, all of it, all of it.
Just go ahead.
Can speak to what their life is like during the investigation.
Y'all can say this one on this.
So the question that was just asked, I know it's kind of low, but somebody from the audience asked, what were their lives like during the investigation? So he's going to let the police officer speak and explain what were their lives like while the investigation was going on. Mind you, they got arrested before they ever conducted an investigation, okay? So we're going to hear now how he says he lost his fucking job dealing with this goddamn allegation.
That's fine. You can say that. You can say that. Absolutely.
I will.
State your name. State your name.
My name is Freddie Douglas. This was a very, very hard time for me. I did lose my employment. I was with the El Campo Police Department for 12 years.
El Campo Police Department for 12 years. 12 years, nothing on his record. Haven't been known of doing anything wrong, okay? Law-abiding citizen, protecting and serving the city. 12 years on the police force. They canned him, gave him the fucking can, all because of what? An allegation. An allegation.
I gave him everything, blood, sweat, and tears, and just felt like it wasn't right what happened to me. Give a shout out to the Brazoria County District Attorney's Office for doing the right thing and moving swiftly on it for us. That's.
Is that what was it? The guy asked, what was it like? I guess living through a rape allegation is what he's asking. What was it like?
It was hell. It was the longest 3 months of my life. Same way with my best friend, longest 3 months of his life. We called each other. We picked each other up every day. I think that's what we had to do. But it was a nightmare for 3 months.
Wow. Wow.
And let me say this.
So for 3 months, just think about it for a second. For 3 months, you are being looked at as a rapist. For 3 months, you're being looked at like you kidnapped this lady, this helpless, defensive lady, right? For 3 months, 90 days. It may not seem like a very, very long time, but for 3 months, and within those 3 months, majority of people that you had some type of business with distance themselves from you, okay? Because they think that you did something, gravely wrong, right? She said, were they in jail for the 3 months? I don't know if they were locked up for the 3 months, but I'll find out for you, okay? Hold on.
Charges had already been filed. And when I called the chief, he pretended like he didn't know anything about it. You mean tell me you just arrested a police veteran, a detective, and you ain't got no idea what's going on? That's a lie. Then I get on the phone with the DA's office in Brazoria County. They did tell the truth. We don't know nothing about this. I said, this case been going on for weeks, that they've been charged, and you know nothing. They say, we know absolutely nothing. Let us go back and check again. They called back again and said, they haven't even given us the case. They're conducting their investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. I said, well, how is it an ongoing investigation if they've already been charged? They said, we'll get back with you as soon as we get to the bottom of it. But I will say this, that tone that they gave me, they were upset.
Oh, yeah.
That they rushed to do this. And so I had confidence that we would prevail before the grand jury. And I had even more confidence we'd prevail during the trial, because that was going to be a nice circus.
Oh, yes, it was.
But these brothers deserve justice.
That's right.
They deserve to have their names given back to them.
That's right.
We're asking the Brazoria County DA's office to expunge their arrest records. They shouldn't have one. And we're asking city leaders in Manville, the world knows what this man has done now with these two brothers. Send a message that you have zero tolerance for such incompetence and racism.
That's right.
Remove this chief and those officers involved in this investigation. That's what we're asking. Any more questions?
So, from what I read, it was local.
Yes. Didn't take long.
The charges could have been brought before it reached grand jury.
Yes, it could have. Yes.
Okay,
But-
so the question that he asked, he says, so the grand jury brought back no bill. And he said, yes, the grand jury brought back no bill. Okay. And they said, could the charges have been dropped before it went to grand jury? And now the activist is saying, yes, they could have dropped the goddamn charges. Hell, they could have not even charged them, right? Had they did the proper interrogation or investigation. If they've done proper investigation, these guys would have never been charged. Never, ever.
In a case like that, with the allegations, now let's listen. This was aggravated sexual assault and aggravated kidnapping. Damn, you would think that they picked up walking down the street, forced her in the car, duct taped her mouth, brought her to the house, and raped this woman. When you look at the charges that these no good dirty devils filed, the charges never even supported her statement. But that's how ruthless these people are. Now, this part I didn't want to talk about it, but I will. We got the detectives on tape.
Oh,
Speak.
We got the detectives on tape,
come on, brother Cornell, tell it.
audio and video. Where they asked each other, well, how do we file charges so fast?
So they got them on recording, asking each other, how did we charge these men? How did we do this so fast? Like, was there even an investigation? How did we drop the ball? Like, what did we do? They're asking themselves, how in the world did they charge them with aggravated rape and aggravated assault and aggravated kidnapping just like that? And the only thing that they had when they filed these charges was what, you guys? Amanda's statement. That's it. Amanda's statement. Never talked to Mark. Never talked to George. Okay? Amanda's statement. That's it. And they went and received charges based off of one thing, and that is Amanda's statement.
Oh, all we took was a statement. No investigation. No. We're trying to do it now. It's on tape. It's on tape that they're admitting they don't have no damn evidence, but a statement. That's a damn shame, because all they had to do.
Exactly, Petty Ready. Petty Ready said no investigation, no DNA. No investigation, no DNA. Only Amanda's statement. That's it. That's all.
Was bring these men in,
The question.
sit down with them and question them. They would have saw everything was live and in color. Give you the videos, give you the audios. You do what you do from there. We ain't got to say nothing else.
And she would have been charged.
This is madness. Then to lie and say that she had just met them not too long ago. Yeah, that's an statement.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
that she had just met them a few weeks ago.
Man, she a freak.
That's what she said about him. She had just met him a few weeks ago. Well, wait a minute, honey. We got video of you coming and going for months. We got the art.
See, she didn't, I don't know if she knew he had video or didn't think he was smart enough to use the video, but she literally said she just met them a couple of weeks ago, but they got her on the Ring doorbell, coming with a dry ass and leaving with a wet ass. Okay, for 4 fucking months, she was having sex with this dude, but gonna tell the police that she had just met him 2 weeks prior.
Yo, if you having a blast, enjoy yourself. Well, maybe she was confused about which brother it was. I don't know.
Maybe she was.
But this is bullshit.
Yeah, it
What
is.
happened here? And these men deserve justice.
Have the police department, anybody say anything about charges?
We are demanding.
Okay, so the question was, have the police department or anyone said anything about charging Miss Freakaleek Amanda? Okay, Amanda Freakaleek Z. So now let's find out what they're saying. It sounds like he said we are demanding that they charge her, but let's see what they're talking about.
That she be charged with making a false police report. We are demanding that she be charged for making a false police report because she didn't want it to get out on the evidence that I have been given. She didn't want her ex-husband to find out what she was doing, spending the night at this man's house while the kid.
Okay, not husband, I guess ex-husband. I thought they told me, I thought I heard when she was married. But she didn't want her ex-husband to find out that she'd been creeping out the back door and into his front door. She didn't want her ex-husband to find out that she was banging 2 brothers, okay?
It's at home. I'm going to say it again. Spending multiple nights at this man's house while the kids were at home. That's what she was afraid of. And because she was afraid that that custody battle was coming and she would lose them kids, she yelled rape.
You take every last one.
Do you know how many black men in America who was accused of raping a white woman who never even made it past the jail cell?
That's right.
We have a shameful legacy in this country with entire black towns being murdered from the allegation that a white woman was assaulted or raped. Rosewood, Florida.
Just watch.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just the allegation that a white woman was assaulted. Kill everything black that's in sight. That's why this is so passionate to us. Our children have been murdered and slain, but just allegedly whistling at a white woman. Poor little Emmett Till, tortured to death. And the white woman admitted that she lied, and she was never charged. Never charged, even when she admitted that she lied and had those men go and kill that little brother. That's why this means so much to us. Any more questions? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. We appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it right here on Talk
Need
About
to
It with
open the
Amora.
door.
Sorry. Y'all heard it right here on Talk About It with Amora. Okay. This happened in 2024. It happened in December of 2023. They were freed in 2024 in March by the grand jury. However, they are now pursuing a civil lawsuit. Now, I said it's going to be 2 parts. We only been in for 56 minutes. I don't know. Y'all let me know down below. Do y'all want to go ahead and get into the civil lawsuit that this lady had the audacity to file? Yes, y'all heard me. She turned around and had the audacity to file a civil lawsuit claiming grape, honey, that she was great. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to go ahead and get into this part 2, or are we gonna say this for the next day? Y'all let me know down below, baby, because she didn't just stop there. She didn't just want them criminally filed. She also, criminally charged. She also wanted them to pay her some moolah grande, okay? She wanted some money, and a large amount at that, okay? Y'all want me to continue? All right, hold on. Y'all, this is crazy. This lady should never show her face again. And you know, I don't know if they will really file some type of charges on her. They should, but I don't even know if those charges would be considered like a misdemeanor, or will it be a hold on, let me get to it right quick. I'm getting to it, y'all. Or will it be a felony charge? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have no idea. But let's pull up this damn. All right, you guys. All right, let me open this up a little bit more. Are y'all ready? Are we ready to find out what this damn Amanda Z had the nerve to do? Honey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, first of all, before I get into this is public documents, okay? She said, Amore, is the dark-skinned man married? Is that what you asking me? Is the dark-skinned man married? I'm not exactly sure if he's married or not. You know, hopefully when we're doing this commentary, we can find out, okay? So I have not read this whole document right here. I saw it and I wanted to break it down with you guys. So, but let me just say this right quick. Things that I say on this channel is based on my opinion only. I am doing commentary based off of publicly available information, okay? This information is for the public, and I'm doing this for educational purpose, also for criticism, and it is covered up under the Fair Use Act as a journalist and blogger, all right? So y'all see right here, Amanda was the plaintiff. The plaintiff is someone that's bringing the case before the courts, okay? So Amanda Z had the audacity to want to charge John Edwards Marks. That was the guy that was in the white shirt, her neighbor, that she's been screwing while her children are next door sleeping, okay? Freddie Charles Douglas. That's the gentleman that was the police officer. He was a detective of El Chapo Police Department for 12 years and was let go because of these allegations, okay? All right, so again, Amanda Z versus the two black gentlemen. All right. Now, I'm not going to read everything because some of this stuff is just saying who they are. The plaintiff, Amanda, individual residing in Brazoria County, Texas. The defendants, an individual, John Marks, he reside in Texas, who may be served with the process at, okay, so he's from Manville, Texas, and then his friend, the detective, is from El Chapo, Texas, okay? So they lived in 3 different places. Amanda resides in Brazoria County. John Marks, the one with the white shirt on, resides in Manville, Texas. And Freddie Douglas Jr., the police detective, resides in El Chapo, Texas. Okay, so 3 different parts of Texas, right? However, the jurisdiction for this complaint is in, I want to say Manville. No, Brazoria County. Okay, so she did it in her county. She made the complaint in her county, all right? So we already got the plaintiffs and all of that out the way. The jurisdiction was Brazil. This lady is seeking. Y'all see right here. Let me zoom this in just a little bit more. See how much she's seeking. Oh my God. Is she effing out her mind? Okay, y'all saw it, right? The courts has jurisdiction of this subject matter of this lawsuit, and the amount in controversy is above the minimum jurisdictional limits of the honorable court. Plaintiff seeks monetary relief over $1 million. Can you imagine that for a second? This lady wanted over $1 million over her punani. Let's get to it, you guys. Let's get to it. So on November the 8th, Amanda was on the premises of the defendant, Mr. Marks, located in Manville, Texas. The plaintiff, Amanda Z, was invited to the home, where she was introduced to Douglas, that's the police officer, by his friend Mark. Defendant Mark placed a dark liquor beverage in front of the plaintiff, Amanda. Then he replaced it with a vodka cranberry. Defendant moved their social gathering to the outside of the house near the pool. That is when defendant Mark brought out a significant amount of alcohol bottles and placed them near the plaintiff while she was pacing her drink. The plaintiff indicated she was not much of a drinker and couldn't stay long, and that she had only stopped by briefly. The defendants, Douglas and Marks, they were swimming in the pool when Douglas started making inappropriate remarks about his wife for him to be having sex with another woman. Okay, so Douglas, yes, he was a married man. Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord. He was married. So thanks for pointing that out. The detective was a married man. So she said defendant Douglas and Marks were swimming in the pool when Douglas started making inappropriate remarks about his wife for him to be having sex with another woman and his wife finding out about him cheating again and spoke about a divorce. The plaintiff, Amanda, joined the defendant Douglas and Mark in the pool. After the plaintiff got in the pool, she became uncomfortable when the defendant, Marks, suggested they swim naked in the pool. The plaintiff declined and confirmed she was not going to swim naked. This is when the defendant Mark started to swim near the plaintiff and attempted to take the straps off, and plaintiff told Marks to stop and stay away from me. As Amanda started to make her way from the pool to get out of the pool, suddenly and without warning, defendant Marks grabbed her and became aggressive. Marks became aggressive and demanded that she take effing things off, referring to her one piece. Okay, so she basically saying he became aggressive and demanded that she takes her one-piece swimsuit off. Marks began forcing her legs open to get off the one-piece bathing suit as he grabbed the straps off the top of her bathing suit. Plaintiff Amanda fought Mark, but Mark overpowered her and forced her head under the water. That's when she was doing that bobbing and weaving shit, right? At one point, Amanda was slammed against the pool. Defendant Mark told defendant Douglas to grab her bathing suit from her. Plaintiff Amanda would not let it go. Then the defendant played keep away with her bathing suit, and then the defendant Mark threw the bathing suit out on his yard. After forcibly removing her clothing, they refused to allow her to leave the pool and forced liquor down her throat to the point she could not even hold her head up. They refused to allow her to put her clothes on. Soon thereafter, now this is a woman that can't lift her head up, but she can remember these details. Make sense, right? But soon after, the defendant began forcibly raping Amanda in the pool before forcibly raping her in the house. Plaintiffs got sick from the alcohol, emotional distress, and physically assaulted despite her attempt to pour drinks in the water and not drink any more alcohol that was being forced upon her, and despite her attempts to resist. The plaintiff, Amanda Z, knew that she could not overpower them, but still yelled for them to get off me, get off me. Plaintiff Z was sexually assaulted by both the defendants, John Edwards Marks and defendant Freddie Charles Douglas. The sexual assault lasted from the evening of March the 8th to the morning of March the 9th, which means that her ass spent the night, right? But she claimed that she was just, they was just raping her all night, right? So it lasted to the morning of March the 9th. Defendant Marks and defendant Douglas grabbed Amanda Z and blocked her against her will to avoid her escaping. At some point, Douglas asked Marks if the plaintiff was all right. Defendant Marks replied, "Don't worry about it," because Marks was going to delete the footage from his security camera. Plaintiff could not see an escape from his backyard. Amanda wanted to go home, but Marks demanded that she go inside and shower. When Plaintiff Z entered the house, defendant Mark continued to rape her at least 3 more times that night, getting more violent even as she fought to try to keep him off. Marks forced Amanda's legs behind her head and raped her even harder each time, telling her that she disrespected him and that she was going to do his boy again. She begged to be let go while raw and in pain from the sexual assault and the rape. Plaintiff tried to get up and leave, but he refused to let her leave the room and at one point saying, "Where you think you're going?" Every time Amanda tried to or did put her clothes back on, he demanded that she remove her clothing. When she refused, he tore them off and raped her again. Marks then told the plaintiff to spit to lubricate herself because she was so raw from the repeated sexual assault. Plaintiff tried to kick as hard as she could, and Mark responded by raping her even harder. Plaintiff repeatedly said no and tried to escape, only able to leave the next morning and escape. The acts and sexual abuse at the hands of the defendant John Marks and Freddie Douglas has caused serious psychological and physical damage to Amanda Z and has required medical care in the past and will likely require medical care in the future. She has permanently physical scarring and continued for months with vaginal bleeding and damage internally. In addition to extensive bruising and markings across her body, she has required surgical intervention from the repeated sexual assault and rape. She has further required extensive physical and mental treatment as a result of the defendant's actions. These acts are not isolated incidents, nor is the plaintiff the only victim of these sexual assault and acts committed by these defendants. Upon information and belief, correspondence exists between the defendants of whether or not the defendant will turn her out. And defendant Douglas asked defendant Marks if her was going to bleed her, related to another woman that they planned to rape together, right? Now, the sexual assault. Hold on. Okay, it says cause of actions. The defendant John Marks and defendant Freddie Douglas, okay? This is the cause of actions. Sexual assault. Plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference the allegations contained in the previous paragraph. The defendant intentionally or knowingly caused physical sexual contact and or penetration without consent. Defendant John Marks and defendant Freddie Douglas both assaulted and sexually assaulted Amanda Z, a minor. Wait a minute, she's a minor? She's a minor? Lordy Jesus. Damn. Okay. I did not know that. Why do they have this on the line then? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me back up. Hold on 1 second. Why was she a minor and she has kids? I don't think she's a minor, y'all. Because no way this will be public knowledge. I don't think she's a minor, y'all. Let me finish. I'm gonna finish reading it. I think that might be a mistake, you guys. Okay, I think that might be a mistake. All right. So so let me finish. I didn't know this information. I did not know this information. All right. I don't think that she is a minor. A minor. Okay, it says defendant John Edwards Marks and defendant Freddie Douglas both assaulted and sexually assaulted Amanda Zawieruszynski, a minor. Let me look this up right quick, y'all. Hold on. Give me 1 second because this is not the information that I was. Oh, hell no. Her ass is 40. No, she's 40, y'all. I just wanted to make sure, okay? No, look, let me just verify with you guys so y'all won't think that I'm covering a story of a minor, all right? I don't know why it says that, but right here it says right here, the Texas woman accused of fabricating rape claims about a cop and his friend insists her allegations are true and says she has ample medical evidence to back her up. Amanda Z, 40 years old, says she's been forced to undergo surgery to repair internal and external physical damage. So she's 40, okay? She's 40 years old. All right, so let's continue. I just wanted to make sure that I verified that with you guys. This is the New York Post, and I don't think the New York Post will fake her age. And matter of fact, it says, yeah, she's been casually dating 41-year-old Mark. So she's 40 years old, okay? All right, let's get back to it, y'all. That threw me right there for a big loop. Let's get back into it. I do apologize. Okay. Under Texas law, the elements of assault and further an invasion of privacy rights and the civil tort of the same defendant John Edwards Mark and defendant Freddie Douglas conduct as alleged above constitutes sexual assault and is actionable under the law of Texas. Okay. The defendant John Edwards and Freddie committed sexual assault upon plaintiff as described above. Hold on. As described above, defendant John Edwards and Charles Douglas intentionally and knowingly forced the plaintiff Amanda Z to have sexual intercourse with him, who was a minor and therefore incapable of consenting to such acts. Again, I don't know why this says it's in here, but she is not a minor, okay? Because they said that she was a minor intercourse with him who was a minor and therefore incapable of consenting to such acts. Defendant John Marks and defendant Charles Douglas, Freddie Douglas, sexually assaulted upon plaintiff caused injury, pain, damage, loss, and harm. Aggravated sexual assault. Plaintiff realleged and incorporates by reference the allegation contained in the previous paragraph. The defendants violently and intentionally and knowingly caused physical sexual conduct and or penetration without consent. Defendant John Edward Marks and Freddie Douglas committed aggravated assault upon plaintiff Amanda Z. She alleged both the invasion of privacy rights and the civil tort of sexual and battery. Defendant Marks and Douglas conduct as alleged above constitutes sexual assault and is actionable under Texas law. The violence and repeated nature of these acts included physical violence and threats of violence after getting her dangerously intoxicated and forcing her to have sex against her consent and against her will constitutes the aggravated nature of the assault. Assault and battery. Plaintiff realleged and incorporates by reference the allegations contained in the previous paragraph. Defendants unlawfully physically contact with plaintiff without her consent an act of causing apprehensive and intimate, harmful, and or offensive contact constitutes assault and battery. These acts committed by defendant Marks and Douglas against the plaintiff herein constitutes assault and battery, actionable under the law of Texas. Defendant Marks and Douglas committed non-consensual acts and non-consensual sexual assault and touching that resulted in harmful and offensive contact with the plaintiff. Specifically, Marks and Douglas committed acts that caused injury to the plaintiff by subjecting her to an intimate battery and or intentional invasion of her rights to be freed from offense and harmful contact. That's when she's trying to say they held her against her will. Instead, conduct demonstrates that defendant John Marks and defendant Freddie Douglas had a present ability to subject plaintiff to an immediate, intentional, offensive, and harmful touching. Defendant Marks and defendant Douglas assaulted and battered plaintiff by non-consensual touching and rape. Plaintiff did not consent to the contact, which caused injury, pain, damage, loss, and or harm. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now she's saying that they inflict all this mental, emotional distress on her, right? Plaintiff Amanda Z incorporates each of the foregoing paragraphs as if they were fully set forth herein. Defendant Marks and defendant Douglas act intentionally and recklessly. The conducts were extreme and outrageous. The action of defendant Marks and Douglas caused plaintiff emotional distress, and the emotional distress suffered by the plaintiff was severe. False imprisonment. No, I guess this is false imprisonment right here. This is the kidnapping. False imprisonment and willful detention. The defendant act intentionally and or with willful disregard in detaining plaintiff, forcing her for the duration of an entire night to be confined to defendant's property for the purpose of repeated raping her. This willful detention includes physical restraint and forcing plaintiff to remain in the bedroom, threats of physical violence, acts of physical violence, and coercion that limits her freedom of movement. The entire time of the detention, plaintiff was aware of her confinement at the time it occurred and believed that she would die that night from the actions of defendants and detention itself. She has suffered extreme physical, emotional, and economical damages from the false imprisonment and believes she would die that night it happened. Amanda. The detention was without consent of the plaintiff. The detention was without legal authority or jury justification. Conspiracy. Plaintiff further alleges a cause of actions for civil conspiracy against the above named defendants. Specifically, plaintiff alleged the following elements: a combination of two or more persons, defendant Marks and defendant Douglas. The person seeks to accomplish an objective or course of action, specifically to rape, false imprisonment, sexual assault, and battery of plaintiff. The person reached a meeting of the minds on the object or course of actions on how to accomplish the rape, assault, battery, false imprisonment, and sexual assault, including how to lure her into their trap, get her drunk, and prevent her from being able to leave as they raped her repeatedly. And one or more unlawful overt acts, including rape, battery, false imprisonment, sexual assault, and assault, are taken in pursuant of the object or course of action, and damage occurred as approximate result, which include mental anguish, past and future, physical impairment, past and future, pain and suffering, past and future, disfigurement, past and future, and economic damages, past and future. Meaning she's saying she suffered from it then and she will continue to suffer from it. Negligence and negligence per se. In the alternative, plaintiff alleges negligence and negligence per se against both defendants. Defendants failed to act as a reasonably prudent person in the same or similar circumstance would in their position. and their acts and or omissions are the direct and proximity cause of plaintiff's actual injuries, both physical and mental injuries, and resulted in her actual damages. The defendant owed a legal duty to the plaintiff, including a duty to provide a safe environment and or to prevent forcible harm. Both defendants had a duty to avoid causing harm to another that to others they breached. The injuries plaintiffs suffer was foreseeable results of the defendant's action. Douglas had a duty to prevent Marks from the continued assault and rape that Mark perpetrated through the remainder of the night and morning and breached his duty regarding the same. Both defendants caused plaintiff harm due to carelessness or a failure to act. Defendants observing and or forcibly making plaintiff drink alcohol created unreasonable conditions and or were actions in which they acted unreasonably and without prudence of a normal person in removing her ability to be able to give any consent. Providing alcohol to an incapacitated person serves a basis of negligence per se. I'm going to get to the rest in a minute, y'all. This is a 13 page. Oh, no. It's not. We almost there. Let's continue. Let's go to exemplary damages. I think that's how you say it. Exemplary damages. Plaintiff realleges and incorporate by reference the allegations contained in the previous paragraph. Defendant's acts or omission, which when viewed objectively from the standpoint of defendants at the time of their occurrence involved an extreme degree of risk. Consider the probability and magnitude of the potential harm to others, such as the plaintiff. Defendant Marks and defendant Douglas conduct toward plaintiff constitutes a reckless disregard for the rights of others and or was the result of conscious indifference to the rights, welfare, and safety of others. Accordingly, plaintiff injuries resulted from defendant's gross negligence and or malice, which entitle plaintiff to exemplary, I can't say that word, y'all. I can, but I can't. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna try it anyway. Exemplary. I can't say it anyway. Damages under the Texas Civil Practice and Remedies Code, section 41.003. Now let's get to the damages. As a result of the above acts and or omission of the defendant, plaintiff sustained some serious injuries and damages. Plaintiff brings this action for the following damages. Y'all ready for these damages? Let's go. Past and future physical pain and suffering of plaintiff, and that which she will, in all probability, suffer in the future. Past and mental anguish of the plaintiff, and that which she will, in all probability, suffer in the future. The medical expenses that the plaintiff has incurred in the past and will, in all probability, continue to incur in the future. Disfigurement. What's she disfigured at? Her JJ is disfigured. Disfigurement in the past and in the future, that which she will and in all probability suffer in the future. Impairment in the past and the future, that which she will in all probability suffer in the future. Court costs, past and future, lost wages. Okay. Lost wages and loss of earning capacity. What? Exemplary. I can't say that word. Exemplary damages and any and all other damages, both general and special, at law and in equity, to which plaintiff may be justly entitled. The jury demand. Plaintiff respectfully demand a jury trial. That girl wants a jury trial. Ooh, child, she was gonna put on them tears. She wants a jury trial, okay? And you are entitled to a jury trial, even in a civil lawsuit. You can ask a jury to be the judge of your case, so to speak. Instead of doing a bench trial, you can ask for a jury and they can make the decision over what the judge has to say, okay? So she wants a jury trial. Preservation of evidence. Plaintiff hereby request and demand that defendants preserve and maintain all evidence pertaining to any claim or defense related to the incident made the basis of this lawsuit or the damages resulting therefore, including photographs, videotapes, audio tapes, recordings, business or medical records. Hold on. Plaintiff hereby request and demand that defendants preserve and maintain all evidence pertaining to any claim or defense related to the incident made the basis of this lawsuit. So is she asking them to preserve and maintain all evidence? So she's basically saying, don't throw shit away. Okay, I guess that's what she's saying. Okay, or the damages resulting therefore, including photographs, videotapes, audio tapes, recordings, business or medical records, bills, invoices, checks, correspondence, memorandums, files, facilities, emails, voicemails, text messages, and any electronic images, data, or information related to the plaintiff. The reference incidents or any damages resulting therefore. This includes messages, documents, and or communications not only related to the plaintiff, but as to other women that this has been planned and or perpetrated against. Basically, she's saying, we want your text messages, okay? We want your phone records, your text messages, your video footages, and all that other shit. Failure to maintain such items will constitute spoliation of the evidence. Notice of intent to use the documents. Pursuant to the Rule 193.7 of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure, plaintiffs give notice that she may use the documents produced by all parties in response to written discovery at any pretrial proceedings in this case, as well as her trial. Prayer. Wherefore premises considered. Plaintiff prays that the defendants be cited to appear and answer herein that upon final trial and hearing hereof that the plaintiff recover damages from defendants in accordance with the evidence, that plaintiff recover interest to which she is justly entitled under the law, both pre-judgment and post-judgment, that plaintiff recover actual damages, court costs of courts, and such other and further relief, both general and special, both at law and in equity, to which she may be justly entitled. So this lady then went and found a lawyer in San Antonio, Texas, to take up her damn case. This was filed. Let me see, do they have a date on it? Where is the date? It doesn't have a date when it was filed. So I don't know if this is a new thing or did she do this before they found out that she was a damn liar. Honey, ooh, Jesus. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about Amanda Z? Amanda Z wanted money and criminal charges brought against these two gentlemen. Both of them. Amanda Z, in my opinion, left her kids at home. And they either probably told the ex-husband that mommy spent the night out and she had to come up with a story. Okay? So she came up with a story. Again, this happened November the 8th. She didn't file the charges until December. All right? This happened November the 8th. She didn't file criminal charges until December of 2023. Okay? But this happened November the 8th. Now, I'm not saying that you can't file charges later or whatever. You can't report later. I'm not saying that. But the damages and things that she said that she endured, she had to go to the hospital and get sewed up and, reconstructed and all of this stuff, right? I would think that she did that right away, right? And I would think when you're in the hospital, telling them that you've been great, that your vajayjay is out of whack and needs some reconstruction done to it or whatnot, that they will say, ma'am, what happened to you? Ma'am, what happened to you? And I would think at that time, she would tell them that she was great and they would call the police. I don't know. Y'all tell me, am I right or am I wrong? I don't think it takes a certain age. Okay, this is the damages. She said disfigurement in the past and future. I don't know if she means disfigurement to her for JJ, but that's what I took it as, because she was so raw down there that it became so painful that it, something happened to it. Okay, something happened to her little kitty box, right? So I would think when she went to the hospital to be seen for all of these damages, her the medical expenses and all of that or whatever, right? I would think that she would have told them, I was raped, I was held against my will, I was assaulted, I was battered, I was beaten, I was restrained. But as we heard the activists say, we don't see the videotape, but he speaks of the videotape. The videotape says Amanda stripped naked all the way down, took off every clothing of her body, and jumped into the pool. And that man was already in the pool. So she moved in his direction and put on a performance. She gave him fellatio in the pool. She claims that her head was subdued, dumped in the pool by the other guy. She said that Mark put her head under the water, but the activists say she put on a performance all on her own. The other guy was already in the pool. She made advances toward him while taking off her clothes. Then she tries to say, oh, they gave me too much alcohol. I told them I wasn't much of a drinker. They gave me brown liquor, and then they switched out the brown liquor, and then they gave me white liquor. I couldn't even keep my head up. Okay? I couldn't even keep my head up. So I want to ask y'all a question. For those that have engaged in drinking and have gotten drunk, would you remember details to the T like she did after you sober up? Are you going to remember the details? Let me know in the comments. Are you going to remember every detail if you can't even hold your head up? You're so drunk. She said no DNA evidence after all of that time since she was naked. No DNA evidence. I mean, the camera showed what happened on the outside and on the inside. He had cameras in there too. It showed her walking around the house freely. She was not mandated to no room. She was not restrained. She walked around the house freely. The cameras showed that. She just spent the night. She let her kids stay in that house by herself while she was out getting topped off, getting dick down. But now, all of a sudden, she wants to holler rape. She probably thought about what it is that she did, and she was probably embarrassed. She said if they did so much damage, she would have went to the hospital sooner. Well, that's what I'm assuming. She said, yeah, I ain't never been on no drugs that had me forgetting what I did or drunk that much. Oh, yeah. So for those that do drink, though, she said, no, if she's not a drinker, she would have most likely passed out and remember nothing. That's what I'm talking about right there. How in the world can you be so intoxicated, right? Because I'm not much of a drinker. How can you be so intoxicated, held against your will, but the next day you go home, and I ain't even gonna say the next day, but the next month after this incident, you filed charges and you remember everything under the sun after you file your charges. Come on. So listen, I got the date. So this happened November the 8th, right? Let's go back to it. November, I think she said the 8th. Let's go to it. November the 8th. Well, guess what she filed the charges? December the 7th. December the 7th. It says Let's read it. Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, no. My bad. Let's back up. It says a black man has filed a civil rights lawsuit against the city of Manville, Texas, and its police officer, claiming that he was falsely arrested for sexually assaulting his white neighbor during a gathering to celebrate his new home. Oh, he was having a housewarming party. Let me take this down so I can show y'all their faces as I explain to you what's going on. So Mark, the guy in the white shirt and black jacket, he filed a lawsuit against City of Manville, Texas, and their police officers, claiming that he was falsely accused for sexually assaulting his white neighbor during a gathering to celebrate his new home. According to the complaint, and I have his complaint too. Hold on. Ooh, now we got to do his complaint tomorrow, y'all. Ooh, yeah, we're going to do it. Ooh, his complaint. How many pages? Just as many. So we're gonna break down his complaint tomorrow. So y'all gonna come back to see me tomorrow. We're gonna break. I got his complaint pulled up too, baby. Ooh, this is all public information right here, baby. Listen, I got his complaint right here because he ain't playing either, baby. Right here, City of Manville. What it say? John Marks, plaintiff, City of Manville, Tanner Truitt, Thomas, Trailer, Officer Rules, and Amanda Z, also known as Amanda Shipley. Honey, he is suing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 people and a whole city. 4 people and a whole city. Are y'all with me to break his complaint down tomorrow? Let me know. So let's go back to it. It says, according to the complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas this week, on November the 9th of 2023, Manville resident John Mark, 40 years old, and his friend Freddie Douglas, 43, had consensual sex in Mark's pool with Amanda Z, a woman who lived nearby and with whom Mark said he had carried on an intimate relationship with for several months. She is also named in the lawsuit. Amanda Z filed a police report a week later, claiming that she was held against her will with both men raping her and attempting to rape her over a several-hour time period that night and into the next morning. Reported the El Chapo Leader News. A court affidavit stated that all 3 had been drinking and the assault took place, with the woman saying no and having to physically fight Douglas off of her, okay? Marks was arrested on December the 7th of 2023 and charged with aggravated assault and aggravated kidnapping felonies that can result in prison time from 5 to 99 years. Douglas was also arrested and fired from his job as a police detective in El Chapo. Both men were jailed and released on bond, protesting their innocence. So they did not stay in jail the whole time. They were released on bond. On March the 23rd, a grand jury for Brazoria County reviewed the evidence presented against them by the district attorney and issued a no-bill verdict, declining to indict either of these men. In the lawsuit filed on August the 21st, Mark contends that Manville police arrested him solely on the account of Amanda Z and without properly investigating. If they had, he argues, police would have seen surveillance footage from the cameras in and around his home that clearly exonerated them. According to the complaint, the cameras captured Z arriving that evening with cupcakes in her mother effing hands and entering the home with no signs of distress or hesitation, looking relaxed and engaging in friendly conversation. She later undressed herself and willingly jumped in the men. She later undressed herself and willingly joined the men in the pool and appeared to be enjoying herself, engaging in consensual sexual activities with John Marks and later with Freddie Douglas, with no sign of resistance or discomfort. The camera showed Amanda Z moving freely throughout the house, with multiple opportunities to leave if she had felt threatened or uncomfortable, including at one point when she was alone in the house while Mark and Douglas were outside in the pool. Oh my God. Shut the front and the side door. Shut the front and the side door. Camera shows that both of these gentlemen were out swimming in the pool and Amanda was in the house by herself. Damn. It says Mark said he informed Officer Tanner Truitt and Police Chief Thomas Traylor of the existence of surveillance footage that contradicts Amanda's allegation, but the officers failed to review the footage or to include it in their report to a judge when seeking a warrant for their arrest. Their conduct was driven by a desire to secure a conviction at any cost, rather than a commitment to uncovering the truth. Mark also contends that police used excessive force during his arrest and then held him in a cold, uncomfortable cell for several hours before transferring him to the Brazoria County Jail. During this time, he was denied access to legal counsel and information about the charges against him. His lawsuit further argues that his treatment in custody was part of a broader pattern of systematic abuse by the Manville Police Department, which routinely violate the rights of those it detained. The case is not an isolated incident, but it reflects a time-worn pattern, resemblance of the injustice depicted in To Kill a Mockingbird, where Black men are falsely accused of sexual crimes by white women, and the machinery of law enforcement is all too willing to proceed without any questions. The complaint says, the arrest and rape charges against Mark garnered significant media attention that was overwhelmingly negative, portraying John as a dangerous criminal, which led neighbors, colleagues, and friends to distance themselves from Mark and cause irreparable damages to his personal and professional reputation. His complaint charges the city of Manville with federal civil rights violations, including failure to properly investigate these serious allegations, depriving Mark of his rights to be free from unlawful searches, seizures, and false imprisonment, excessive use of force, and failure to adequately train, supervise, and discipline its officers. The complaint also specifies alleged misconduct by 3 police officers. It claims that Truitt made false and misleading statements to justice of the peace, Richard B. Davis, and omitted material information that, if disclosed, would have prevented the issuance of the arrest warrant. The police chief Traylor, who participated in and witnessed the arrest of Mark, knew or was recklessly indifferent to the fact that Officer Truitt made false and misleading statements in his sworn complaint. And then there goes Officer Rules. Officer Rules conducted an unwarranted search of Mark's vehicle and home without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. In violation of his Fourth Amendment, Rules used excessive force despite no resistance during the arrest. Mark alleged and later tampered with Mark's security cameras by altering the settings from 180 days to 60 days, an action aimed at destroying inculpatory evidence and obstructing justice. Wait a fucking minute. He reset this dude's camera from 180 days to 60 days? Ooh, he tried to destroy some shit. Traylor, the Manville Police Department, and Brazoria County District Attorney Tom Selleck all declined requests from the Atlanta Black Star to comment on the criminal proceedings and the civil lawsuit. Mark further charges Amanda Z with malicious prosecution for falsely reporting to the police that she had been raped and kidnapped by him, which led to his arrest and prosecution. and caused him mental anguish and damages to his personal and professional reputation. After the grand jury, which had reviewed the surveillance video, declined to indict Mark and Douglas in March, the two men appeared at a press conference with civil rights activists who denounced the Manville police for racist and corrupt practices, and Amanda for allegedly making false claims of the rape. From 2024 back to the days of Emmett Till, Black men are still having to defend their lives versus white tears, said Iris Bay, president of the Brazoria County NAACP. Turning to Mark, she said, that audio and video saved your life. Without it, Brazoria County would have nailed your ass to the cross. Why in 2024 are we still fighting against white fragility? Mark seeks a jury trial and all available relief from the court against all of the defendants for the alleged Constitution violation, including compulsory, punitive, and exemplary damages for lost wages, diminished earnings capacity, medical expenses, including psychological counseling and therapy, loss of professional opportunities, and standing in the community, social ostracism, and damages to his personal relationship. So it does not say, hold on, let me see. Let me see how much he's seeking. We're going to go over his complaint tomorrow, but let me just see how much he's seeking. She was seeking $1 million, and let me see how much he's seeking. Give me a second. Let me see, does he put a number in here? It's long, you guys. I'm trying to see that he put a number in here. Her number was in the top. I don't see that he put a number. Okay. So I don't see it right now. That doesn't mean it's not there. It may just mean when we get to it, we'll have to address it, okay? But I don't see a number amount, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lick, baby. It's going to be a lick because he is suing the whole damn police department and a few individuals. So I don't see the amount that he is seeking, but right now, just off of me scanning through it. But when I find out, I will definitely let you know. But I'm sure it's going to be some millions, because if she was seeking 1 million, baby, I'm sure that he is seeking millions as well. And probably not just no damn one. I hope he's seeking 40, 50 million or some shit like that. He's going to get, listen, he going to get paid, y'all. He going to get paid. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Is he getting paid or what? Or are they getting paid or what? Y'all let me know. This police officer lost his job. Lost his job. They fired him, okay? Fired him over allegations. Y'all, I can't even say exemplary. How you say that damn word, y'all? Oh, Lord Jesus. Hold on. Let me find out how to say it. Give me a second.
Exemplary.
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 Exemplary. That's what I get for trying to say exemplary. Exemplary, child. But baby, listen. I believe, yes, she said they are getting paid. They both. She said, is Sean's a multi-million lawsuit because it's a civil rights violation? Yes, that part. And I believe they deserve every penny they're going to get. They deserve every penny they're going to get, okay? Because first of all, they did no investigation. They had no evidence whatsoever. They went and got a warrant for their arrest, arrested them, and charged them, okay? Charged them, and then held Mark, the one that's smiling, held him in jail in a cold cell for hours. I can just only imagine. For hours. Just held him in there like he's a criminal. Well, Amanda, girl, child, she wrong for this. She's absolutely wrong for this. But for 2020, for this to be happening in 2024, what the hell? What in the entire hell? So anyway, I'm glad that these two brothers had cameras. I'm glad because, baby, if they did not have cameras, if they didn't have audio or video, what do you think? 5 to 99 years. How many years you think the judge would have gave them? 5 to 99 years without audio footage, without video footage. They would be in prison. They would be in prison. Her word against theirs. Y'all said, 3 people said 99 years. They would have been given 99. Look, embedded in soul said 99 plus 99. They would have gave them 99 years. These gentlemen would have been facing anywhere from 5 to 99 years. What a shame. I believe whatever they would have. Ooh, let's look at this. Let's pull this up, y'all, because look at their mug shots. So you see the two gentlemen now, right? They look like decent young men, happy men, good careers. He had just bought a house. He was having a housewarming party. And then she said, there's other people they did this too. Where they at? Where they at? Look at these gentlemen. They went from this. Look at them now, right? They went from these photos to these photos. Make it make sense, y'all. They got them in an orange jumpsuit. Look, went from this photo, these photos to these photos. I wouldn't have been happy either. They're being photographed and spread all around social media as rapists, as kidnappers. Yeah. They made it seem, oh, wait a minute. I didn't even read this part. Look. Oh, my goodness. Their bond was $100,000. He said he had to, oh, my goodness. It said the ex-cop, the darker complexion one, a father of 2, and was once named Officer of the Year, said that he was forced to sell his home to cover legal fees and needed help from his mother to come up with $100,000 to bond out of jail. Wait a minute. What's that bond? Please don't tell me they put them on $1 million bond. OMG. He had what? Y'all, this man had to come up with $100,000. He had to sell his house and come up with $100,000 to get out of jail. His mama had to help him. What? Oh, I know his mama mad. Let me show y'all his mama, y'all. Oh, I know his mama mad. Ooh, wee, baby. Guess who's going to be at the court? I'm going too, y'all. If I find out the court date, I'm going, y'all. I'm going to this civil trial. Child, I'm going to this civil trial. His mama. Oh, baby. His mama mad. They had to come up with $100,000. That Douglas had to sell his home to cover legal fees and needed a loan from his mother to pay for his $100,000 bond. So if it's $100,000, it probably was only $10,000, you think? I don't know. But I don't know if it was $100,000 because it said he had to come up with $100,000. I mean, if he had to come up with $100,000 or the bond was $100,000, I'm not sure, but it said he had to come up with $100,000. All right. So both men were arrested, and Douglas was fired from the police department, but later the charges were dropped by a grand jury after they produced footage from the house, which showed all 3 did have sex, according to a lawsuit filed by Douglas, but that it was completely consensual. So the video footage proved that, yes, they did engage in sex, but it was consensual, okay? It was consensual sex. The video evidence proved it was consensual. She voluntarily opened up them goddamn on legs, okay? She spread it eagle and gave them some of her cookies and then got mad later, a week later, and filed charges. I don't know if it's because they ignored her afterwards or whatever the case may be, but it's absolutely crazy. So they are asking to have their records expunged because they don't even want this on their records. These gentlemen are still in their 40s. They still probably, you know, compete for jobs, different jobs. But you know what? After they get this multi-millionaire lawsuit, by the time they get this multi-millionaire lawsuit, they'll be able to sit down for a few years. I hope they get a lot too. Ooh, I hope they get a lot. I hope they get a lot. I do. I hope they get a lot of money to where they would never have to go and fill out a job application, to where they would never have to go to an interview, do a resume or anything if they don't want to. I hope they get paid big money. And I hope this mother right here that helped her son out, I hope that if she works, I don't know if she does, but if she does, I hope she can retire, sit down and enjoy her retirement for the rest of her natural born life. Okay. I'm sure he's going to take care of his mother after the lawsuit, after he win this money. Okay. But this is crazy. He had to sell his home, forced to sell his house to come up with money in order to get out of jail. People don't have that type of money just laying around. And who wants to give it to the state or the city for something useless, for lies? Who want to just cough over thousands and thousands of dollars? Who wants to do that? Not me. I'm sure not you. And I'm sure neither one of these guys or his mother. No one wants to give up money like that. Okay? So nevertheless, she was proud of her son. You could tell she was proud of him. He probably just graduated from some type of graduation or whatever. Probably police. No, I ain't gonna say police academy because he got on a suit, looks like a shirt, a dress-up shirt. But this is crazy, crazy work. So nevertheless, you guys, I wanted to bring y'all this story. Tomorrow, we will break down his lawsuit against her that they just filed back in August of, did they file it in August? I think it said they filed it in August. I'm not quite sure why it's surfacing now. It does look like Atlanta Black Star just posted this 2 days ago or however long it's been. However, it could be an old post, but nevertheless, this is something that we are still dealing with in this day and age. This is absolutely crazy. Okay? But I'm glad that the grand jury got it right. Because you know the old saying, the grand jury would indict a ham sandwich. They don't need much to indict you guys. The grand jury could have very much indicted these two fellas. And guess what? They would have had to fight through an entire trial. An entire trial. So it's good that the grand jury declined to indict them. She said, was a white lady married? So it mentioned, hold on, let me see. Hold on. It mentioned she was married. Matter of fact, I think they said it in the hold on one second. I think that it was said in the audio of the activists. Didn't he mention it? Hold on. Or maybe he said her ex-husband. I think he said ex-husband. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. Trying to see, was she married? And another young fella did commentary on it as well. Let me see what he said. Oh, is it not going to show me? Hold on.
What they did not know was the videos of the entire encounter. Not only videos, audios too. And on the audio and the video, you can see this wasn't no damn rape. On the audio and the video, you will see she was the one that started sexually engaging them first.
Oh man, so we got a crazy story.
Okay, so this is a YouTuber. He's speaking about it. Hold on.
Pulled up to his homie named John Mark's crib for his birthday. It was Freddie Douglas' birthday. He's a police officer. He went over there to celebrate with his boy. His boy had this snow bunny that he had been smashing for some months. You feel me? They went to a Houston Rockets game. They confirmed that the chip was gonna slide back to the crib. When they were done, to take a little dip. Yep, take a little dip in the pool. And eventually that dip got really skinny. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And he got skinny and freaky real fast, real fast. So after that time passed, the snow bunny, who happened to be married, but was separated at the point in time.
Married but separated. Oh, so now they're ex-husbands now, but she was married and separated at the time. So she didn't want him to know that she was sneaking over and getting some good old wood. Okay. She didn't want hubby, who has since divorced her ass. She didn't want him to know that she was over there, getting topped off. Okay. But they were separated.
3 weeks later, she went and filed a complaint against these two men and said that it was done against her will. Despite having footage that John Marks filmed it on his phone and his crib had surveillance cameras that seen the whole thing go down, the police didn't care. They still wanted to prosecute.
What do y'all think about that? The fact that the whole entire thing was caught on camera. Oh my God. Damn, Amanda, damn.
These two dudes. Eventually, it went to a grand jury, and I believe they seen the footage, and they was like, no, it's no way that we could file these charges against these two men. They dismissed the charges. But still, at that point, the homie Freddie Douglas lost his job as a police officer, and due to all the legal fees and to fight the case, he had to sell his home in a fast sale. Damn, they lost everything, man. So Freddie is suing the Snow Bunny and his former employers, the police department, for falsely following through with these charges and ruining that man's life, damn near.
All it takes is one white woman to say out of her mouth, I was by two black men at this police department, and then these cops never even questioned these two gentlemen. They never even interviewed these two gentlemen. I'm going to say it again. She came and called them and told them she was, and they went and got arrest warrants for both men. These brothers never been in trouble, no criminal history. One, a police detective. You mean to tell me she come and say this about a police detective, and yet you don't even interview the man? You get a warrant for his arrest on the spot. Surely, I don't believe, had a black woman come up here and told them the two white men to me, and one is a police detective, and neither have a criminal history of violence or anything, that they would go and process arrest warrants for him without ever interviewing both men. This police department and the chief should resign. He should never be allowed to be a chief in this city again. They conducted a bona fide investigation only after they had arrested both men. But what they did not know was that this white woman had been having sex with one of the brothers for a long time. What they did not know, on the day that his friend was there, the police detective, she called. We got the text messages. She asked, what's his name? And she went to the store and got some cupcakes with his name on it. Now, you mean to tell me a grown woman ain't never met a man, and she's going to visit this man, and she gets some cupcakes with his name on it?
How she know the name? How she know the name?
Come on now.
How she know the name?
This is foolishness to even call this proper police work. What they did not know was there was videos of the entire encounter. Not only videos, audios too. And on the audio and the video, you can see this wasn't no damn. On the audio and the video, you will see she was the one that started sexually engaging them first.
Speak on it.
Neither one of them brothers went to her first. She got ass naked. Speak clear. She gets ass naked and jumps in the pool. He's already in the pool. And she went up to him. He didn't go to her. And she put on a performance. And then we got videos Well, she been coming in intimate relationship with this brother for a long extended period of time.
Y'all heard it. I had to play it again, y'all. I had to play that part again. I just wanted y'all to hear the part where she's the one that took off her clothes, got ass naked, and jumped in the pool. I just want to play that part one more time because this is so diabolical. How in the hell did she come up with a story like she did? How? How did she come up with a story like that? She came up with a damn lie, baby, and they got her on audio, video footage that showed that she lied on these damn men. This is crazy work. She said the caption is taking me out. The closed caption is taking you out. Y'all, this story is absolutely crazy. It's a shame. It's a shame that our men, no matter the color. Oh, she said gold man. We met our goal, y'all. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let's pause for the MFing calls. We'll be back. Hold on, y'all. Gold man.
Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Gold man. Yeah, it's up now. Big super chest. Hit up, cash sound. Screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now.
Run it up right now. I love it. Thank y'all so very much, y'all. I'm glad to be able to bring a story like this to you guys because it's so often that our men get accused of doing heinous things, right? Heinous crimes. But when evidence like this appears, right? And they can prove themselves with evidence or audio, baby, it's some type of good. I am so glad that these brothers had audio because had they not, I'm sure myself and a whole bunch of other people would have thought that they was guilty as sin, okay? Oh my God, how could they do this to this lady? How can they do this to this innocent looking lady? She's so beautiful and she's so innocent. Look at her. How can they do this to this lady? We would have looked at these men and said, look at these devils. How can they do that? Boy, they would have been put away for a while. And you know what else? Let's just say they would have got the lower end of the spectrum and only got 5 years instead of 99. If I'm not mistaken, wouldn't they have to register as sex offenders if they rape somebody? I think so, right? That's not just against kids, right? I think they would have had to register as sex offenders. I think. I'm not 100%, but I think. So now, not only would they have to do 5 years in prison, and that's on the lower end of the spectrum, 5 years in prison, but the rest of their lives would have been ruined because they would have been put on some type of registry that told the world that these people are violent, dangerous humans. So I am really, really glad that they did have video footage. And at this point in time, y'all, I say, if you're going to invite somebody to your house, baby, you better have some cameras. Have the cameras in your house, around your house, front of your house, the side of your house, the back of your house. Like, come on. You just need to protect yourself because people will lie on you. with a straight freaking face. They will lie on you. This lady, bold-faced ass, lied through her entire lawsuit. She wasn't even pleased with just having them criminally charged. This lady had to turn around and try to charge them civilly. She wanted money, $1 million. She wanted $1 million. I thought where somebody said they think it was a setup. Let me go back to that. One of y'all said it was a setup. Let me go to that comment. Well, I see she planned it. I thought somebody said they set them up. Okay, well, I see right there you said it was planned, but I thought somebody said it was a setup. Maybe not. Maybe I read it wrong. But who knows? Maybe she did think that this was something that she was going to do all along. Okay? She said the lady in the background hollering freak a leak took me out. Yes, she did. She said freak a leak. She said something heinous was driving these bros were probably doing many Amandas. Oh, you think they were doing a lot of different females? They were hitting both of them. They was tag teaming. Is that what you're thinking? I don't know. Maybe they were. But you know what? I guarantee you this made them say hell to the no. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think they still doing some threesomes or, running some trains or whatever? She said, yes, you would have to register as a sex offender. See, that would have just jacked up their life. So anyway, but somebody said they think it was a setup. It could have been a setup, but the lady got a hold of some good wood, right? And she probably had to explain herself. Didn't want to have to explain herself. So what did she do? She accused them of doing it. No, it wasn't consensual. It wasn't consensual. I was raped. No, trust me, believe me. They took it. I would have never given it to them. I was raped. So anyway, but y'all, tomorrow we're just gonna go over. We're gonna do two things tomorrow. We are going to go over his lawsuit, and we also going to do our giveaway. We're gonna do our giveaway for the February appreciation. Okay. And we're going to start the March appreciation, but we're going to give that away tomorrow to one lucky winner. And we are going to go over, not in the same live. Well, maybe in the same. No, not in the same live. We'll do separate lives. Okay. Not in the same live. Or you know what? Maybe we will, but toward the end or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to go over his lawsuit, his civil lawsuit that he is suing all of these damn people, baby, because he wants some money. He wants some money. And I wonder, did they leave off the amount because they want them? Sometimes they do it for them to offer something. You know what I'm saying? Like they want them to offer. They try to take it outside of the court, and then they'll offer them an amount. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I think it might go to court. She said, like Cat Williams said, white women are beautiful, but stay away from me. Stay away from me. Listen, it's crazy. All right. So anyway, that is my commentary for this evening. So we got two freed black men because the one with the white collared shirt on had video footage. Had he not had video and audio footage around his home, Ring camera and video camera up by the pool, these two brothers right here will be in prison talking about, I'm innocent. It didn't happen like that. I'm innocent for real. No, I'm innocent for real. No, y'all, listen, I'm innocent. They would have been saying they innocent, and we would have been like, you're a liar. You're a liar. You a whole liar. You know you violated this woman. You a liar. You a liar. You a liar. How many people do you think that she had comfort her and tell her, it's okay, we're just so glad that you told, and treated her like she was a victim? How many people do you that bought her tears, that actually believed her believed that she was held against her will, forced to drink alcohol, stripped naked, told to perform all type of sexual activities, and screwed until she was raw and her vajayjay was disfigured. How many people do you think still believe this lady? She should be going to jail for lying. She should. I agree. Jay and I was talking about it, and we both agreed that she should get whatever time they was going to give them. 5 to 99. 5 to 99. Because that's what they were facing. I feel that she should be facing whatever charges they were facing. If she lied on them and they were facing 5 to 99, then if her ass is found guilty, she should be getting 5 to 99. That's how I look at it. I don't think she should just get no probation or anything like that. No, 5 to 99. Okay. She said the whole community. So y'all think the whole community believed her? Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. Oh my God, young lady, this is horrible. What happened to you? Come here. Let me cook for you. Let me help you out. Let me help you with your children. This is crazy that this happened to you. She said, I found a post saying that she is a former DOD employee impacted by jet fuel positioning of the Red Hill crisis. Also, she was a DOD employee, a Department of Defense. Well, baby, I bet you she fired now. That's why I say formal. I bet you she lost her job. Jet fuel poisoning of the Red Hill crisis. She literally ruined their lives over a lie. Yep. She surely did. Well, I don't think their life is totally ruined. I mean, it was a rough patch for them. But I still think that they, especially the truth is out, right? Now that the truth is out, they're still in their 40s. So the fact that the truth is out, I don't think their life is ruined all the way. But I think it will be so much better when they get that fat ass lawsuit, okay? When they get that money, then they're going to be sitting pretty. He can pay his mama back the money that she gave him or whatever. But I think as far as psychologically or mentally, yes, I do think their life is ruined, and I don't think that they will be trusting females like that. Yeah, I do. I think that, I think it will mess up anybody's mental stability if they are lied on and their whole future, their freedom is threatened over a lie. Because without that audio, without that video, then I do believe they would have been found guilty. I do. I believe a jury would have sent their asses up the road, up the creek without a paddle. Okay. She said, I believe her husband said that if that really happened to her, she needed to prove it. And that's why it was a week later when she reported it. That might be the case, Pretty D. That just might be the case. So it's unfortunate he had to sell his home. Yes, it is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that he had to, and I heard it was a quick sale. So, that's a hit against your credit report. I think it is anyway, but that's a hit, which means that will he own another house? Yeah, after he get his fat ass check, he'll own another home. But until then, probably not. But I think that they will both probably be a little apprehensive when it comes to women. I don't even think it's just white women. I think these two men will be guarded from now on when it comes to any woman, because they're going to start thinking like, shit, I may get accused of raping somebody again, So I think it would definitely leave a psychological effect on both of these gentlemen. She said, wasn't there another case of a lady who was a police officer and did like a gangbang with officers and called it rape? Yes, I do remember a case like that, J. Lou. And she was married. Yep. She was having sex with the guys on her police force, right? Her buddies and everything. And then she kind of said she did it because she wanted to be in the cool gang with them or this, that, and the other. Is that what you're talking about? She was letting the police officers, her comrades, have sex with her, and later she turned around and said it was rape. And she was married too. Yep. I'm gonna pull up that story too. She said, this is giving Lifetime movie. Hey, it's sad. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's actually sad. But, you know, I'm just glad he had the audio and the video footage, because I just know that this guy, both of them would have went to prison. So I'm glad that they're saved from that. I do believe that they will recover, but I do think that they will always be a little reserved when it comes to trusting again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pretty sure their whole future flashed before them. I mean, let's think about it. Every time they look at these pictures right here, it's a stark reminder. 99 years, up to 99 years. A stark reminder. So thank y'all for hanging out with me. I got through this in 2 hours and 25 minutes. Thank y'all so very much. For those that will be listening later, do not forget to say replay. You know, I got my whole replay gang. They like to listen to it, you know, without everybody being in the comment section. So, but thank y'all so very much for pulling up and sticking it out with me. I will be back tomorrow to break down the lawsuit, and you know, we'll probably talk about some other things too. And J. Lou, thank you for reminding me of that, because now I'm gonna go look for that story of the lady that was married, and she was a police officer, and she was having sex with all her little police buddies and whatnot. And she said she did it to be in a cool gang with them or something like that. But and then she turned around and said that they raped her too. So we'll get that and look into that one tomorrow as well, if y'all don't mind. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Thank you for the love, for all my super chat senders. Thank you so much, Perfectly Imperfect, Lisa, Big Sis Glenn, Benita, Sonia, Gloria, Miss Carla, Binky Bink, Barbara, Candy, Miss Fee for Life, 200K, Inside Cola's World, Rita M, Candy Girl, Binkity Bink, Rachel, Love That, Margot, Candy Girl, and Miss Sonia. And wait a minute, y'all, because I got a couple of coffees. I want to give y'all a shout out, because y'all was trying to fill me up tonight. Okay? Right quick before we leave. Thank you, Candy Girl, so very much. She said, welcome everyone. Thumbs up to this live. Send my girl a super chat or a coffee. Aw, thank you, Candy Girl. Appreciate the cups of coffee. 5 cups. Thank you, girl. And thank you, Lisa White. She said, I am here for it. I love your commentary. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And then my girl Rachel said, stop playing with our girl. Stop playing, y'all. Thank you so much, Rachel. I appreciate you. And then I want to give a big shout out to my girl Yasmin, because she hit me today on my Apple Pay. And this is what she says. She says, get you something good to eat and have a great day. Oh, thank you so very much, Yasmin. I appreciate you. She bought me lunch today, y'all. She bought me lunch. So I do appreciate you guys so very much. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thumbs up this video. And if you just coming in, she said, I put that information in the group. I see why she needs money. Oh, you talking about something else? Well, we'll just have to go to the group and see what you're talking about, honey. We just gonna have to go to the group and see what you're talking about. All right. But anyway, I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. And those that came in late, y'all go back to the beginning of this video, honey. Y'all got to see the whole damn story, y'all. Y'all got to hear the whole story. It's crazy, girl. It's crazy. All right. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Talk to y'all later. Good night.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Jay! She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen on damn because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names. Talking about it. That family. That family. That family. That family. Jay! That family. That family. Talking about it. Dollar. Talking about it.
Brazoria.